You know, I think you guys need a more proper library. This is getting a little crowded in here, and you guys are smelling a little ripe. I think let's do that today. Let's look at building a library. I guess the first decision is, where is that going to be? Maybe we'll do something over there. Actually, so I had a couple things I wanted to do real quick here, follow up from last episode. So everyone had some incredible ideas on how to kind of dress this up a little bit. I think everyone pretty much agreed that this right here ain't working. That's just a weird contrast that's just not working, and it's not helping anything out at all. So I'm going to pop those away. I had some great ideas, everything from working in some mud brick to the green warped wood, maybe quartz on the ceiling, maybe having this, growing this into a more like industrial looking building, and maybe even combining other farms with it, like a stone generator and stuff. Just tons of great ideas. A mossy cobble up there, which I think would look really cool, but that might go well with the warped wood. And some tuff. So lots of really, really good ideas. Let's just take a few minutes to just take one or two of those ideas and just kind of pop a couple in there just to see what they look like. And just see if we can, let's see. I know there's different kinds of tuff, and brick might not even be the proper version of tuff to use. But let's just kind of see what that tuff looks like, kind of along with this brick. See, that's a lot less contrasting than that deep slate. I already like that better. Let's see. Let's get a couple more materials here. I don't have much stuff. So this is the problem that I ran into last time, is I just don't have very many materials yet. So I don't think I have mud brick yet. I mean, I can make it easily enough, right? I need a I need a water bottle. I don't have just a plain water bottle yet. Do I have glass? I do have glass. Wow, I don't have much glass. Okay. Again, I keep forgetting I have multiple worlds, and I keep forgetting where I'm at in these worlds. Let's just break up some of that in here. Let's get some glass smelting. I'm going to make a little bit of mud brick to see how that looks. Let's see if I have wheat. I have some wheat. Okay, excellent. Did I put anything in? That's just regular brick. Okay. Let's see. Warped wood. You know, we've been to the nether. Does our nether have warped wood in it yet? What's in our nether box? Let's take a... Well, it's getting ready to be dark, so let's go ahead and poke our head into the nether here. Take a poke our head. There you go. That's English right there for you. Let's poke our head into the nether real quick and take a look. And just to see if we have a warp forest nearby. Like really nearby, like as in something that would be like almost, well, there you go. That's right. It's right there. So let's go ahead and get some warped wood real quick, and just so that we can kind of see how that feels amongst everything. I need a better way up and down from this place. So yeah, welcome to my Longplay series. If this is your first visit here, welcome. I hope you enjoy yourself. This is just this is just me playing Minecraft. This is nothing crazy going on here. I'm not there's really no goals. This is just me playing Minecraft the way I play Minecraft. It's mostly vanilla. It's very lightly modded, as you can see, a little bit with some resource packs. The mods I use are not really game changing. They're just some simple things that are some quality of life things that I like to use. Stuff like the map up in the top corner. I mainly use that for directions and coordinates and stuff. I know I'm leaving hanging trees, but these things don't decay on their own anyway. I'm okay with that. It's just the nether. The nether is an ugly place to begin with. Oh, I kind of like those. I'll have to come back and get those sometime. Yeah, so if you're new here, welcome. And if you've been around, welcome to you too. I really appreciate you guys all your support has been fantastic. I love it. Like, and without sounding cheesy, that's kind of that's what makes this worth it, you know, honestly. So so I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's see. That's probably enough just for now, just to see if, you know, let me grab some of this. The crimson is right here too. That's a really nice. I don't know what that's what. Boy, my English is off today. So normally I record these on Friday evenings. It's kind of my end of the work week kind of cool down, just a nice relaxing evening. And then I usually post these up here Saturday mornings, so you're noticing here that it wasn't posted Saturday morning. This right now is Saturday morning. Right now it's about an hour before this video would normally go live. Just had a really rough day at work on Friday, yesterday. Just a conclusion to a hard week, and I just wasn't feeling it last night, you know? Sometimes my brain had to take a break, and I just had to just chill out and watch some mindless stuff and go to bed early. So that's why this video is just a little bit late, but it shouldn't be too bad. Let's go ahead and sleep here. Now, I like the idea with the warped wood. I was thinking maybe even just the wood on the bottom, and then they were thinking like warped wood on the roof. Of course, that would have to be stairs and stuff. Again, we have to keep things unspawnable. That looks a little weird with the... or that, you know, just that kind of wood looks a little strange. I'm not loving that one so much. This is already feeling a little bit better. We can grab some glass bottles. We can grab a glass bottle, make a little bit of mud brick, and just see how that feels against that brick. I mean, I feel like the two probably go together very well. But I'm wondering if it goes together too well. You know, like they blend too much to where there's like not enough contrast. Another suggestion was some okay, the jungle fences and stuff with them would go with the mud brick. Okay, that's right. Now with the mud, I guess I can take out some of the dirt right here. I usually don't like to tear up my... You know, eventually this is going to probably get reworked anyway, so let's go ahead and tear up some of this. So the best way to do this is to just use a bottle and just, you know, make some easy to get dirt right here at the water level into mud. I found that's the easiest and quickest way to do this. Okay. You can even grab some of that clay while we're here. Okay, let's just dig that up real quick and see. Now, one thing whenever I'm doing this, I try to be careful to make sure, like this right here, underneath here, the water is not healing. So you can see like that piece of mud right there is not floating up. That's because the water's not healing. But if we break it out like this, the water should connect into that groove, and you see now it's floating up. So whenever I'm digging out mud or clay or dirt or sand underwater like this, I like to keep in mind how... Oh, that's an underwater sound. That's not a neighbor. I like to keep in mind how water heals, just to make sure that even the water down here that we can't see is actually healing properly and not creating like these weird little sinkhole eddies or whatever in the water that pulls things down. Just a little something I like to stay aware of when I'm chopping up my coastlines. And that should be probably about enough mud right there. Yeah, that'll be enough to get us a couple of mud bricks just to get a feel for what that's going to look like. What were some other ideas? Tough, mossy cobble. I love that idea too. Let's see. Put that bottle away. And we'll grab some meat and make ourselves some packed mud. Is it 1 for 1, really? Well, that's so darn expensive, isn't it? It really is. That's one of those things where you really just need to find like a trail ruin or something and just harvest. We'll make a couple of bricks out of that just to see what the two different things look like. I have a feeling that this isn't going to contrast enough with the red brick, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I feel like that's just not contrasting enough. Like that almost feels like it would be good as texturing and not necessarily like a different material. Yeah, I'm gonna just say no to those for now. So far, I'm leaning towards this. This tough is looking really nice. What were some of the other ideas? The jungle fence, of course, maybe change those out for jungle fences. Let's see. Of course, the whole thing about making this a foundry, I think that's a great idea, but I think that would be for a larger build idea rather than just a quick roof over their heads. But I'm definitely going to keep that one in mind. And let's just take a look at some mossy cobble, see how that kind of goes. Now, the mossy cobble, I think that idea was more for like the roof. So let's get a couple of... Let's make a few stairs out of that. Oh, why am I doing it there? Oh, I lose material if I do it there. I need to be doing this on a stone cutter. There we go. Should get a couple of those. Yeah, I know, you villager. Trying to steal my table. And the warped wood. Let's see what the warped wood looks like as roofing material as well. Just get a feel for that. Okay. Do we have jungle fences? Let me see if we have jungle fences already crafted. Yeah, we got a few of those, so we can at least see how that looks as well. Okay. One thing I do like about the idea of the warped wood, I wish it looked a little bit better against this brick, is that it doesn't burn, right? The warped woods, the woods from the nether don't burn. What's that crimson look like? Interesting. So one thing I'm not good with is really like mixing and matching like colors. I'm just not real good with that. Like, what colors go together? What colors create? You know, what's the whole color wheel and what's the proper contrast? You know, I mean, I get some basic things, red and blue and stuff like that, but you know, there's certain things. What did I just come down here for? I need some building blocks and stuff. Okay, I need like scaffold to get around. Okay. You know, there's you know, like contrasting blocks and colors and stuff. It's just not a something I know much about. So I just kind of like play with stuff and I try to just get a feel for how it looks to me, even though I really have no idea what like the quote proper like ways would be. Anyway, let's see. I just want to get a feel for what this might look like if we... I'm almost thinking like we put more of like an A-frame roof on this thing as well. Something a little bit bigger. But just to see what things look like, we're just playing with some blocks and some colors right now. Just trying to get a feel for... Can I target that? There we go. Ooh, I almost fell down in the water. There we go. I like both of those. I like both of those as roofs. Can't use both of them, though, because then it would be a little too weird. I really like both of those, though. Maybe we'll go with this so it actually feels like it's a completely new material and not just like more stone. Like we kind of have stone tough, stone in a broad sense, the bricks. Yeah, let's let's do a little warped wood roof on this thing and kind of see how that ends up looking. Let's do that. We'll commit to that for now, and I can always change it later. Always change it later if I change my mind. Let me put these boots back. All right. Let's see. So first off, let's go ahead and I need a crafting table. I could go back and get one, but you know, I'm lazy. So another reason I wanted to play this morning is I saw today that they're calling it an extreme heat warning where I live. I think this is happening in quite a lot of the U.S. right now. Massive heat wave going through. And so today here where I live, it's supposed to get a high of 97 today. Fahrenheit, and it's still morning, and it's 85 degrees, and it quote feels like 94. So it's already a scorcher, and it's still morning, and I can't imagine what it's going to feel like when it hits the high today. And where I live, it also is talking about some afternoon showers, and where I live, all that means is it turns it into a really just a humid sauna. So it's a perfect day to stay inside and play some video games. So stay inside, stay cool, stay safe. You know, getting outside is a wonderful thing. And, you know, getting outside and getting fresh air and exercise and all the benefits you get from being outdoors is amazing. But on days like this, it is detrimental to your health. It is really just unsafe. And, or at least I feel it is. I'm not giving anybody advice. But I feel days like this, it's best to just take the warnings, stay inside, stay safe, stay cool. And enjoy the weather when it is less extreme. Do I want to make more? Do I want to go with... those oak fences aren't going to look good. Should the fences match the roof? Or match the... Maybe let's go with the jungle, because I feel like it would blend better with those bricks that are below it. So let's see... jungle fences. Yeah, we'll make a few of those. Let's see. Yeah, that should be more than enough. I'm trying to decide how I want... I think we go ahead and stretch it. Like, we make this roof like as if this was like a little house. It's just like an open house. So we kind of make it come all the way across like this. I know I opened this episode saying I was going to build a library. And trust me, that will be the bulk of today's episode. I just wanted to get this fixed up and get these guys protected from potential lightning strikes. Let's see. I need to be able to get in here a little bit easier. Let's just... okay. I need to make this into dirt. Okay. Be careful I don't fall in any of these. So let's replace some of these. Let's see. And let's just kind of go like that. We'll pull that all the way up. We'll do 3 up with these. There we go. Oh. Okay, we got a few more tough bricks here. There we go. And 2 more of those. Okay. I like that jungle wood. I like that better than the oak. It just gives it a little bit more something. I don't know what it gives it. I do like it better. Oh, I think I had some in these on these little corners. These here too, not corners. They're literally not corners. They're the opposite of corners. They're the middle of the wall. I'm one short. Okay, I'll go get one more. Okay, let me put the rest of this away. My inventory's already getting a little full of stuff here. I'll go ahead and put the cobble away for now. I'll put that mud brick away. I think we'll go with this this look that we're doing right now. We'll do that for now, and this of course can always be updated later if we feel like it needs to change. And there we go. Another thing I'm going to need to do is once this is built, I want easy access to come in and trade sticks with these guys so I can use them to get emeralds. I'll need to be able to do that to where I can easily access them without letting them out. So I'll have to figure that out at some point. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just get a little bit more of this roof going here. We'll try to knock this out real quick. It's going to be a pretty simple... Oops. Just going to go for pretty simple, like a normal little A-frame house, a little basic house, you know, like those pretty much. Except again, the house isn't a fully enclosed house. It's this open little pavilion style house thingy that we got going on here. So on these, okay, this is going to be tough. I need to get up on it. Let's see here. We can do a little upside downy thing there, and then a normal thingy there, and then another. Is this going to be the center? Nope, that's not the center yet. That right there is going to be the center, so we're going to put like an upside down stair and a slab, and then let's go down here. Badoop, and badoop, and badoop. So that should be the... Come on, no, go. You want to go. 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 You know he wanted to be in there. I was just helping him. There we go. We'll do that, and then we'll just complete that A-frame around. And I'll probably end up needing more stairs, but we'll just start building and see how that goes. Let's see. Oop, hold on a second. What's going on here? I'm using the wrong blocks. Holy cow. Okay. There we go. It's like something ain't right here. Something ain't right. Alright. So everybody has their own way of doing the little A-frames and where they meet and stuff. It's always fun watching everybody's little nuances. One thing I like to do is I put a little corner on a little thingy on the corners. I always think that makes the corners look a little bit nice. It's a nice little detail. But it's kind of funny. Yeah, everyone kind of has their way of doing this basic kind of roof. And I know that like most people are mostly the same, but everyone has like some kind of little quirk or little difference. I love seeing that in people's builds. Alright, okay, so this is we're getting there. We're just going to finish this off, and then we will move on. And one thing with this warped wood, if you want to texture it, it goes really, really well with the dark prismarine. So when we get to the point where we go conquer an ocean monument, I'd love to if this still looks the way it does in its current incarnation, it'd be nice to get some, we can texture that in and make that look really cool. I am a few stairs short. I figured I would. Oh no! In my other world, I have Elytra. I literally just like double jumped thinking I was going to glide back down. That's one problem with playing two different worlds simultaneously. I forget what resources I have in each world, and I also forget what equipment I have in each world. Perfect. Okay. Let's see how that looks from the outside. I mean, I like it. I don't like that. That looks bad to me. I will think about what I want to do with that and do that later. Or if I don't get to it this episode, give me some suggestions how I can make that. Like, I kind of feel like maybe we should make it look like maybe some wood beams or something. Make it look like there's something more holding that up, or that there's something more to that. The outside of it, I think, looks great. The inside, I'm a little bit worried about the inside. You normally can't see the inside of a roof, right? Because either it's inside a house or you put a ceiling on the house. But I don't want to just put a ceiling on this. But if I do, maybe it would be something open with like trapdoors or something, oak trapdoors or something. Anyway, if I don't do something with it this episode, oh, he just spawned over here, didn't he? He sure did. You know what? I just need to do this. Whoa, horse. Come on, man. You almost just took an arrow to the noggin. Okay, I was gonna say how many? How many is it gonna take? Ooh, I almost just threw my bed in there. I meant to throw the iron in there. There we go. I wonder if he spawned over here too. Is it time to sleep? It's almost time to sleep. Let's go ahead and just take him out as well. Okay, I hear someone else just spawned over there, so that's good. The farm's not broken. Right when he died, the ghast cried. That sounded really, really weird. Okay, let me sleep. All right. Let me empty my inventory and start talking about libraries. So before I talk about while I talk about emptying my inventory, let's talk about the new copper updates that are coming. Somebody wanted me to talk about that and what my thoughts were. First of all, my thoughts are that looks awesome. That's the first part of my thoughts, is that looks like it's really going to be pretty great. I feel like I should put the nether woods over here, but I'll put the nether woods for now in with the nether, and we'll sort that a little bit better later. Yeah, so what I'm doing right now, where I have to like sort everything back into all of these chests, and I have to go to all these different places to do it. This new copper stuff that they're going to be coming up with, I think. Let's see, do I have anywhere where there's clay? Let's put it in here right now because this is where the bricks are. I'll sort that better later. I really don't. None of that belongs in there. I just don't feel like creating new chests at the moment. But yeah, so with this copper update, they're bringing back these little copper. Well, not bringing back because they never had them, but they had the suggestion of them, which were the copper golems, and they're going to have those guys, and they're going to do stuff where you make a little copper chest, and then the copper golems will take anything you put in those chests and sort it out into other chests where they're already. So, like, for example, if this chest has sandstone in it, if there's sandstone in that little copper chest, they'll look around, they'll be like, oh, here's the sandstone, and they'll come and put it in here. And they do it like 16 blocks at a time, a quarter of a stack at a time. And for like what I just did right there, I could have just come in, opened up that little copper dump chest, threw everything in there, and walked away and have you know, a couple of these little iron golems just sit here and do all that sorting that I just did automatically. I think that is incredible because automatic inventory systems are just a bear to make. They're really complex. They're very redstone intensive. They're very much, you have to follow tutorials to a T to get them to work right. And they're massive and they're laggy and everything else. But I think like just having, even if it was just like 2, just have like make a double, because they join, they make doubles, so you can make like 2 copper chests, bloop bloop, have them join, you get 2 copper golems out of it, and then use that as a dump chest and have those guys sort everything. That would be incredible. I think that's going to be a fantastic update. I'm looking forward to it. I know they're still working on it, and there's some I'm sure there's going to be bugs and different features and stuff added to it. But like one thing they were saying is like, hey, we like to stack our chests up. How's a copper golem going to reach up 4 chests? Well, with my inventory system here, he would just go hop, hop, and then go into this chest, right? So score 1 for the storage pit. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I don't care so much about the copper equipment. I know that like iron is one thing that's actually frustrating to me is that very early game iron is hard to find because it's more prominent deeper underground. So when a starting player, it's maybe a little bit more difficult. Oh, I can't sleep. It's just raining. It's not dark. I'm sitting there. I'm concentrating more on what I'm saying than what I'm doing. Anyway, I know that like very early game copper is hard to obtain. I'm sorry, iron is a little bit harder to obtain, whereas copper is very plentiful. So I guess it does give you some tools and armor that you can make. You can make armor without having to find a ton of iron. That is one benefit to that. But the tools, maybe they are better than stone, but you will find enough iron soon enough to at least make a couple of tools. But the armor is definitely going to help out. But yeah, so that aspect of the update doesn't excite me as much. Although I think it would be welcome. Welcome change. I think people will enjoy that, especially maybe newer players or people who just enjoy the early game. I think it's a great addition. I think it's awesome. I love it. And I also saw that they were talking about adding these new shelf blocks, which also almost double as vertical slabs, although one side is going to obviously have the shelf texture on it, and you can put things in it, and people were already showing where you can make the banners with the letters and put them in the shelf blocks to make, you can have just 3 blocks wide, like 1, 2, 3 right up here, and you can have 9 letters. Like, how awesome is that? That is so cool. That's really going to be a cool one to play around with. That's going to be an excellent addition to the game. So yeah, definitely looking forward to all of that. Yeah, you'll find that like usually my opinion on new updates is I'm always glad to see them adding new stuff to the game. Sometimes the new stuff is like, well, I'll probably never do anything with that. But I'm always still glad to see new things. Definitely not one of these people. It's like, well, they shouldn't have added that. They should have added my pet thing instead. I'm not that kind of person. Sure, there's things I would love to see added to the game, but honestly, I'm not the creator of the game. It ain't my decision. So anything that they do decide to add, I'm usually all for it. Again, some things I just don't use or won't use much, but I'm still happy that they do it because it just makes the game more full and I think more enjoyable for everybody, honestly. Okay, so now that I did some mindless farming while I was talking because my brain apparently can only do one thing at a time. Let's make some leather real quick and let's go talk about a library for my librarians. Alright, you guys done? No, there's still a few more. Okay. Is that everybody? Oh, there you go. I think that's everybody now. Okay. Alright, wow. Thanks for the leather. Okay, awesome. I'll just go ahead and bring that back home. Might as well. Okay. So, library. First decision is where's it going to be? I was thinking over there, kind of like in like, oh, I do have zoom in this game. Kind of like in that corner. After I flatten that out, of course. Or I could put it over here. But see, okay, so I feel like this is going to... How big is my... I guess my little village, my town, whatever you want to call what's going to end up growing here is going to take up this entire expanse. I kind of feel like that's what's going on. And actually, a library over there might not be bad. Number one, it gets a nice big building over here. A nice library would be a big... more like a public building, which might look good next to a ironworks kind of public building kind of thing. So that might actually look good over there. And another benefit to that, like the reason why we put this over here, is it'll pull those villagers away from the village and detach. And, of course, we'll get them detached from the village by popping all the beds and everything. And so then these guys won't technically be part of that village, right? And, of course, they'll make more villagers to replace them. So I think I've sold myself on that. I'm going to put the library over there. I've completely and utterly sold myself on that idea. Where's my farmer? Where's Farmer Joe? Farmer Old McDonald. There we go. Let's trade some of the stuff I just harvested. Let's get some more carrots. Okay. So let's it's getting close to where I can sleep away this rain. So let's sleep away this rain once it's time, and I'll show you what I'm thinking about for this library. So some of the ideas I have, I can go ahead and start gathering a few resources here. Oh, do I not have the did I use up all of my whatchamacallits already? Oh no, here they are. I put them in the wrong chest. Lecterns. Grab a few lecterns. I'm just going to grab a few things to use as just an example. Let's see. Let's grab a couple of these. It's always good to have a couple more just in case you need them for something. Again, this is going to be an example. This is not going to be any kind of final design or anything. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you what I'm thinking of, and how this will play out. What else do I need for their little thingies? Okay, probably like a sign, just to show you what's going to happen here. And then if I go just grab a couple of these. We'll make a few more, just to make sure we got enough stuff to play with, just to show you what's going to happen over here. Okay, more than enough, more than enough. I probably need like a 1/10 of those blocks. All right, let's sleep away this rain and talk about libraries. Okay. Okay. So, we're going to have it over here. I've decided that. Now, rather than doing something like a normal villager hall where you kind of put them in their little stalls and stuff, I mean, they're obviously going to have to be in some kind of stall. I don't want them completely free roaming because it's just going to cause problems, You're going to have to try to hunt down the villagers that you need. So I do want to keep them restrained. But the way I'm going to do it, and this is one of those buildings that I designed from the inside out. Rather than making the building and then doing everything inside of it, I start with the interior and I build essentially, it'd be kind of like building a farm and then making a building around the farm. I'm going to build what I want for the villagers and then make the library around it. So what we're probably going to be doing today is kind of focusing on that inner part. But the idea here is I'm going to make little stalls. So say, for example, that's one villager workbench. Okay, and then we're going to make like a little, this might be bookshelves here to make it look cute. We'll put like a sign on the front to tell you what villager that is, mending, for example. Okay, And then you can make like his little stall. You could do something like this. Maybe something like that. Maybe do something like that along the back side or something. Like a little work desk. And then he'll stand in here. And what we'll do is this block right here will become a honey block. Maybe even with a carpet on top of it. But that will prevent him from being able to jump out of here. So he'll be here. And he won't be able to leave. He won't be able to jump up, but he'll be kind of like be just standing here like he's at his little table working away. Right? And again, if these are like bookshelves, and maybe these are stairs, or maybe even slabs or something, maybe this little thing here. Yeah. So they'll have like a little desk. And then we'll have a row of them. So we'll have like this one here, and then we'll say we'll leave enough space to get around, and then we'll put another desk here with a horse on it. Right? So let's just, there we go. And let's see. Just, again, this might not be the final design, but this is just kind of just getting the idea across. Right? So then we'll have rows of these desks with one villager in each. And oh my gosh, this is going to be huge, isn't it? Yeah. So he just wanted to show you an example. So an example is he'll be standing in there doing his job. Of course, he won't be able to jump out because we're going to have honey blocks on the floor. So yeah, so that's the idea. So now, okay. For real though, you need to go back home. So that's the idea of it. So that's how I want to do this. I'm probably going to have to go ahead and cover this hole finally, because I wrote them down, all of the books that I want available to me, all the enchantment books that I want available to me in this game are 18 books. Of course, there's more. You want the things for fishing rods and stuff, but like everything I need for my armor, my tools, and my weapons are 18 books. So I assume that means I'm going to need 18 desks. Oh, the horse is attracted to the carrots. I'm just bringing every mob into my face here, aren't I? There we go. Okay. Now I could do. I was thinking that this would be like have like maybe a 2, and then there's like another desk here, and then there's like another desk here. So we could have 3 desks wide and 6 deep. Right? This is going to be a big building. It's going to be single floor. Like I kind of like have that feel like you walk into some like massive library research center, maybe even something out of like, Harry Potter or something. I'm almost thinking of like the Harry Potter, like where they go and eat, and it's just this massive room with tables, the long tables. This will just be like a big room of all these guys like scrolling away in their little lectern books, working away. So I want them all on like one level, like this big open floor of them working. And then of course you're going to have a building around it with, windows and decoration and bookshelves and everything to make that look nice. Maybe have some like carpets down the walkways here. Again, probably a carpet on top of their slime block just to, or their, not slime block, their honey block. So they're not just standing with their feet in honey. They actually have some carpet, and that kind of hides it a little bit. But yeah, so I'm thinking, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking like probably 6 deep here. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're talking workbenches out to here. And only then do you get to the opening of the building. That was weird. Okay. I'm also thinking maybe the floor of this building will be up maybe 2 blocks. Like it won't be like, not like, you walk in the door right at floor level. Like you have to go, either you go upstairs and walk in the door, or you walk in the door and then go up some stairs, one way or the other. And then you get to this big room full of librarians. That's my vision. So I think you guys know what I'm going for here. So let's start working towards what we need. So the first thing is let's just fill in the dirt and stuff. Let's just get the actual terrain into just a plain dirt workable terrain. Even though like I said, this is probably going to be raised up a block or two. Let's just start it with a nice clean slate. We'll go ahead and get this stuff replaced with dirt. We'll go ahead and cover up this thing. Probably want to see where we're going to need more torches, just to make sure that we don't get weird spawns directly underneath whatever's built here. You know. So we'll have to look at that as well. And then it comes to resource gathering and stuff like that. Okay, I didn't realize there was a cave right there. Okay, I'll have to do a little extra dirting there as well. Dirting. There you go. I just made a verb out of placing dirt. Dirting. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to do some resource gathering. So I think the first thing I'll do once I'm done with this terraining bit here, let's go find some bees. We're gonna need bees. I have Silk Touch now on my tools, so I can actually get the bee nests and bring those home. And I think the best way is gonna just be, might as well just go ahead and set up a proper bee farm. You know, might as well just go right to bee farm. No sense in dawdling and just making some. Oh, hey, kitty, how you doing? Yeah, we'll just go straight with bee farm, and get that going immediately. Let's see. There will be dirt here. I don't need to worry too much about what's going on with this wall of. Well, let's just do this. That's fine. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll do a bee farm so we can start working on, because the honey blocks, we're going to need 18 honey blocks. Each one of those is 4 honey bottles, and a honey bottle doesn't occur until a beehive is full. So that's a whole lot of beekeeping to get those. So that's definitely something I want to get started sooner rather than later, so that so when we need it, they're pretty close to being ready. Okay, again right here, if I had a little copper golem and a dump chest, what I just did right there would be so much faster. Alright, let's just go ahead and grab some of this dirt. I don't know how much I'm going to need because of that giant pit. Let's keep these leaves for now. And once we're up to like stacks of leaves, I'll probably start composting them, but okay. So my friend Millie will be happy. I'm double dirting. She calls that double dirting. When you're making a new floor, it's never a good idea to make it 1 block thin. Not 1 block thick, 1 block thin. Because anything you do, you feel like you need to pop a block out of the floor to make a flooring tile or anything, and then you just don't want to see it fall into oblivion, into a cave. So it's always nice to make your floors at least 2 thick when you're doing something like this. I mean, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want, but it just makes it a little bit easier in the long run when you're working with trying to build later. So there you go, Millie. I am going to double dirt this entire thing over here. So in other words, we're going to basically start down on that level and then there you go, double dirt. Okay, let me sleep away this night, because again, I'm not sure that we're 100% protected from drowns, although I don't think it's a problem. But there's no reason to encourage them. last thing we want is like Mr. Mending or someone to get taken out by a drown just because I was lazy with my sleeping. There we go. So somebody in the comments was asking how I got introduced to Minecraft or how I got started playing Minecraft. I thought that was a really good question. Yeah, I can talk about that a little bit while I'm putting dirt down. So back in the day, and oh my gosh, I should have looked it up before I logged in. Oh my gosh. I remember when Minecraft started becoming a thing, only because I would see references to it, right? I would see, you know, memes and posts with creepers and things like that. And, you know, crazy stories, you know, video. One thing I thought was the funniest thing at the moment was like this video of this guy who, hold on. Excuse me, just had a little tickle in my throat there. This guy who had built this huge house, this huge, awesome, beautiful house, and he had a fireplace in the house, and this was back when fire would just rage out of control, and like it sparked out or whatever, it lit a piece of wood on fire, and then suddenly his entire house started burning, and he was running around trying to save his house, and it was spreading so fast he couldn't keep up with it, and it was tragic and hilarious. Just watching this guy like just panicking through this, and obviously he thought it was amusing afterwards too, or else he probably wouldn't have posted a video of it, you know. So it was I felt okay kind of laughing along with his tragedy, but it was that always struck with me, like that sounded like a funny thing, and that was in my, you know, world of video games, that was pretty unique thing, right? I'm sitting there like, you know, you're not going to see that in normal video games where you build something and then it burns down. Like that's crazy. This is, you know, I'm used to video games that were a little bit more, you know, Mario Brothers, you know, the pipe isn't going to catch on fire and then not be there anymore. You know, that's not how video games work. You know. And when I talk video games, I'm old enough where, yes, I'm from the days where we had Pong at our house, and one kid in our neighborhood had an Atari, right? And we would all go to their house to play stuff like Pitfall and everything else. So, you know, we had, you know, Space Invaders at the Pizza Hut, you know, the Space Invaders arcade game at the Pizza Hut. So, like, yes, I'm from the era of when I was growing up, basically the birth of video games. So, I've been around it since its start. You know, we had our Commodore 64, you know, that we would play games on and stuff. You know, and of course, then in high school, we had like the Nintendo and everything. So, anyway. So to see something like this in a video game where, you know, someone like physically built a thing in the world and it like burned down to the ground was just, it was crazy to me. It was funny. The situation was funny. Had a good laugh at the video. Just a really cool, unique kind of thing. And then that kind of stuck with me. And then again, of course, you know, you're seeing memes with creeper faces and, you know, the creeper at the door and everything else. And so then eventually I was like, you know, this is really becoming popular. And at the moment that was happening, I really wasn't playing too many video games. No, actually, no. Let me take that back. At the time, I had an Xbox, probably an Xbox 360 at the time. And, oh, by the way, it sounds like there's a neighbor mowing, so if you hear the lawnmower in the background, my apologies, but, you know, hey, they're trying to get it done before the extreme heat. They're just in they're in the really bad heat right now, but they're trying to get it done before the extreme heat, so I don't blame them. If you hear it, my apologies. But anyway, So at the time, I mean, like, I played all kinds of stuff back in the day. You know, everything from the early games, again, Atari and Commodore 64 and Nintendo, all the way up through, you know, using my dial-up modem, you know, to connect to play like what was it called? Unreal Tournament, you know, Half-Life multiplayer, you know, Half-Life death matches with friends and stuff. So I've done a lot of video gaming in my life as far as different styles of gaming. But around this time, I wasn't playing too terribly many video games, but I did have an Xbox 360, and I got really into like the Lego games, the Lego Star Wars, Lego Batman, Lego Indiana Jones, you know, Lego Harry Potter. Like, I just really enjoyed those games because you could just kind of chill out. They were easy, you know. You didn't have to worry too much about, like, you know, failure. You just kind of, you know, you might have to redo a few things every now and then, but it was fairly easy. It was fun. They looked good. You know, they were kind of cute to play, and they were funny. And I'm playing with all these things again, Indiana Jones and Star Wars and all these things. Some things from my childhood like that, but then some newer things like Harry Potter and stuff. So I was playing a lot of those on my Xbox. And then when Minecraft came around, so again, I was seeing stuff about Minecraft and seeing the memes and all of that. So eventually I was like, you know, this is becoming really popular. So at the time, I think they had just, like, early days of what Pocket Edition, right, where you could download it on your cell phone. And I had a cell phone at, you know, whatever it was, a Samsung or something, an Android. So I downloaded it on. I'm gonna go ahead and chop down these trees while I'm finishing this story. And maybe trade those sticks for some villagers. Let's just do a little bit of that while I'm telling the rest of this story. Anyway, so yeah, so where was I? I just distracted myself. Yeah. Anyway, so I was seeing all these memes and stuff about. Oh, that's right, I had the phone. So what I did was I like downloaded from the App Store, and even at the time, it may have been free. It may have been like 99 cents or $2 something. I don't remember at all what the cost was. But I went ahead and downloaded the app. I'm like, I wonder if this Minecraft thing, you know, I've seen all these funny pictures and memes and videos. I wonder if I should at least just see what it is. So I downloaded it on my phone. And then it sat there on my phone for whatever, weeks, months, I don't know how long it was. And I never touched it. It was just there. And, I mean, I'm sure I, like, launched it once or twice, but I didn't really do anything with it. And then, like, one time I was, like, you know, waiting for my significant other to get ready to go out to dinner. And I was just kind of sitting there on the couch, and I, like, pulled out my phone, and I'm like, let me just fire up this Minecraft game and just see what it's all about. So I played with it for probably about 20 minutes, and I kind of got the gist of what was happening. I'm like, okay, cool. So then after that, that kind of like that got the bug. That kind of got me curious about, you know, what else can this game do? So then I went and I looked it up on YouTube. You know, Minecraft, whatever. I don't know what I searched for, but I came across the Paul Soares Jr. How to Survive and Thrive in Minecraft, right? And it was kind of like, you know, this is how you survive your first night. Very much a tutorial on how to play the game. So I watched that first video, and I was just like, I mean, I probably watched it at work, you know, while I was doing some busy work. I kind of threw up that video and watched it, you know, with one eye on the video and one eye on my work. And I was just like, now this looks really fun. So I immediately, that night, I went home and I actually bought the PC version, the desktop version, Java version. And that was it. And then I started playing it, and I watched his videos, and I kind of started mimicking what he did for his first couple of days in the game, you know, how to survive. And then the rest is history. Yep. So I got it, loved it, been playing it ever since. Ever since. And then what really kept me into it was, so my significant other, she was not a gamer at all. I mean, as far as video games, the only thing she would play would be like cell phone puzzle games, like kind of like the Candy Crush kind of stuff. I think that came probably around that time. But like not like video games, like we would consider video games. She didn't play anything like that. But she would sit and watch me play Minecraft. And she enjoyed watching me play Minecraft to the point where she eventually wanted to learn how to play it. So that was really cool. And of course, she had to start from scratch, like these keys make your character move forward and backwards, and this key makes you jump, and you have to use your mouse to look around while you're moving. Like, she was new to all of it. Every aspect of it she was new to. So it was fun watching her learn, and then and being able to have someone to play with. And that was really what kept me going in the game, was having someone to play alongside with. And then I showed it to one time when I was visiting over at my brother's house, and he has he still has, but they're just not kids anymore. He had 3 kids. The oldest, they were all like still in school, like not even teenagers yet. So they were like perfect age for Minecraft, And I showed them the game, and everyone there just absolutely fell in love with it as I was showing them the game. And I kind of went through like Paul Soares Jr. doing his first episode of Survive and Thrive. Now we need to find a cave to hide in, a hidey hole, and we need food, and we need a pickaxe. And as I'm showing it, and all the kids were just enraptured with it. They were just like, they were so just hanging on every word, every second of this. And as I'm doing it, my brother was over on the other computer creating an account and downloading it. So we would play, so I would often play with like family. We would make eventually, we would make a server, and the whole family would play together. It was a lot of fun. So that's what really got into that. That's what got me into Minecraft, and I think that's what kept me into Minecraft beyond, it just being a passing phase. I think being able to actually play it, with my family and everything, that's really what kept me hooked and kept me going. And then, so that's how I got started in the game. And the way I got started into YouTube was eventually, as family grew older and their interests changed and life moved on, eventually I found that I had no one left to play with. So once I had, that horse is going to stand right there so he can get suffocated by this. I'll tell you what, let's just convince you to get away from that sapling. There we go. Yep. So once I found myself with no one to play with, I realized that I enjoyed the game far more. Like when I had someone to share it with, when I had someone who could actually see the things I was building. Where are my? I probably don't have any. There we go. Item frames. But yeah, no, I discovered that I enjoyed the game a lot more if I had someone to share it with. If nothing else, just to say like, hey, look at this cool thing I just built. Like just that in and of itself. So since I didn't have anyone left to play with, I created a YouTube channel. And I figured, you know what? I'll just throw it out here, and if anybody watches, then great. I'm sharing it with somebody, and that gives me, a reason to do it. So that's my story. That's how I ended up here. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's look for bees. Let's do bees. How far into this we are? About an hour. Okay, so I'll take a break in about 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and, of course, I am not I need one more piece of dirt. That one. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Whoa. You know what? Where'd he go? We could use a pearl if we can get one. Oh, bummer. Okay. So sorry for the loud screaming Enderman. Anyone who was trying to relax. Sorry for the loud screaming Enderman. That was totally my fault. Okay, oh no, bees. Let me stop getting distracted. We want to find bees. Yeah, there's a bee right there. So how many nests are we gonna want? I'm thinking we'll look for 3. We'll try to do 3 so we can have 3 bee nests. We can have maybe one of them making honeycomb and then 2 of them making honey bottles. I think that might work out pretty well. You know, there's really no flowers over here. That poor guy is looking for... Look, we got 2 bees looking for flowers. Okay, maybe I should go... Do I have some flowers at home? Let me go grab some flowers. We can help these folks out a little bit. Because if they get some honey, they can get inside their nest. And then we'll be able to scoop that up. Let's see. Well, we got tons of dandelions. There we go. Yeah, we'll try to find 3 bee nests. So are those bees? They wouldn't have come back to into their hive yet unless they found some flowers. So let's just put some flowers out. See if we can find where they went. Okay, they're over here. So guys, I got flowers. Hey you. Come on. Come on. We'll get both of you. We'll make a 3rd. There you go. And then I'll put this flower away. You guys go ahead and get your pollen and get in your little nest. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to put a block in front of the opening so they can't get back out. So once they go in, they'll stay in. All right, have at it, little ones. One more. Hey, come back here. Come on. No. Come on. Look at that. There you go. Sometimes you have to convince them that they really do want the flowers. Boy, he's really taking his time. There you go. All right. And there's a beehive. Now, since this has silk touch, poop, there you go. Hey, total bee location. And now they've added a thing here where if you have it in your inventory and you hover over it, you can see how many bees are in it and what honey level it's at. How cool is that? You used to need a mod for that. So I'm glad they added that. That's really useful. And I made sure to look up that is vanilla. That's not one of the mods that I have on my system. Although I used to have a mod that kind of did that. We need to find more bees. You know, I haven't really explored too much over land in this world yet, honestly. I mean, I did a little bit of that ocean exploring in the first episode or so. But that was it. Haven't really done much overland exploration. Excuse me. Still got that little tickle in my throat there. Let's see. Looking for bees. I think I'll take some of these flowers. These are nice flowers as decoration. They're also easy to replicate. So I'll grab a few of those while I'm here. Do we have these? I'm sure we have these guys at home. No, maybe not. Apparently not. Let's go ahead and grab some of those because these, my friend Millie that I mentioned before, Millie Craft on YouTube here. If you go to my channel, she's probably listed on my front page as a friend of Oda. But she does some like tutorial type videos, and she had a whole one on plants and flowers specifically. That was really, really good. But yeah, she showed that you can actually like duplicate these guys with bone meal and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Didn't realize you could do that. I thought, oh, hey, I just made a little chicken. So with all these birch trees, I feel like we should be seeing some bees. Bees do like the birch. Oh, hey. So now, did I put the... Yeah, I don't know if I want to get into the dog noises right now. I don't love the new dog noises, and it upset me because I liked using dogs in this game, but I don't like their new sounds. And someone did point out to me recently that someone finally made a resource pack that is it just puts the old dog sounds back, and I love it. I'm not sure if I applied it to this game or not. I mean, I can probably look in. Oops, no, let me sleep first. Did I apply that yet? No. I wonder, real quick, did I save that off, or do I have to go download it again? So if I go, let me just check real quick. No. Okay. I'll have to, oops. I'll have to find that and get that on here. And yeah, it just replaces all the new dog sounds with the old ones, which are so much more pleasant. Okay, I'm surprised in this birch forest that I'm finding it this hard to find a beehive. I know technically I could go ahead and craft extra beehives and then breed up the bees, but I'd rather just find them naturally. Just theoretically, it's a lot faster if you can find them. They're usually very plentiful in birch forests. Like the beehives can appear on many different trees, but they're more likely on birch trees. And especially they're more likely to, there's some over there. They're more likely to spawn in the game. So let's go ahead and let me pop this real quick and just see how many bees are in it. There's 2 bees. Oh, I almost made the 2 bees or not 2 bees joke. Let's see if we can convince those 2 bees to come out and make a third, and then we don't have to worry about breeding them up once we get back home. So we'll give them a few minutes to finish making their honey, then they should come back out. And once they've reemerged, we should be able to make a third bee. Just scoping the area for another beehive nearby. I'm sorry, bee nest. See, like, okay, colloquially, I know, especially in nature, we call these beehives, right? Like, I always call these beehives. And I would think that, like, the ones that people construct out of wooden boxes and stuff, aren't those called, like, apiaries or something like that? But in this game, these are called bee nests. And the ones that you craft out of wood are beehives. So I'm curious if anybody's kind of a more knowledgeable about bees and beekeeping and just, you know, in general, what terminology is right? Are they right? Are they more correct calling these bee nests and calling the artificial ones beehives? Or should these be beehives and then the crafted ones be either bee nests or apiaries or something like that? Okay. It does take them a few minutes to come back out once they've gone in with their honey, so hopefully they'll pop out pretty soon here. It's just easier to breed them up here before you pick them up, especially now that you can see exactly how many are in it. Now you have to actually you can't just look at it and see that information. Okay, there they go. In that mod that I had, you could just right click on it and see it. There we go. So now once all 3 of these folks come back in, we can get that bee nest. What was I saying? Yeah, you have to actually like pick it up with Silk Touch to see how many bees are in it. All right. Now you two go in. There you go. There's our second bee nest. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get a third. Again, that way I can have one of them making honeycomb and 2 of them making bottles. So we just need to find a third. We'll go maybe over here. I'd love to... now I'm starting to wonder how long this is going to take. I kind of figured finding these bees would be really, really fast. I didn't expect to get distracted in the first part of the episode. I kind of figured I'd be building the library by now. But that's okay. I'm in no rush. So, whole point of this is just to relax and have fun and play at my own pace. And if it takes a while to do things, that's perfectly fine with me. It would be nice, though, to at least, again, get this bee farm built. Or honey farm. It's not a bee farm, it's a honey farm. Okay, I feel like that birch forest that we just came from should have more beehives in it. So let's go ahead and maybe see part of, because we came from that way. So let's go see more of this side of it. Anyway, I was gonna say, like, I would like to get the beehive, the bee farm, the honey farm done this episode, and at least start getting some of our librarians in their little stations. Even if they don't have like a building around them yet, at least try to get the design for their little desks sorted out, and get a couple of them positioned in them. That'd be nice to have done before the end of this episode. Of course, that's gonna, the bottleneck there will be how long will it take to actually make enough honey to make the blocks. I hear skelly bones. Oh, look at you. Oh. Okay, well that was a mess. I used a shield and then okay. Let's focus on finding bees. I don't need to fight skeletons. Let's see. Yeah, they're not so much. I mean, again, they can show up in the oaks, but they typically spawn naturally in these. Now that is a good question. Oops, wrong button. Okay, we haven't found one of the. We haven't actually found the pink trees, the cherries trees. I think we got that maybe from a. Did we trade for that from a wandering trader? Yeah, because those also have beehives, pretty plentiful. Oh, is this that same cat that we saw wandering away from the village, like in one of those first couple episodes? Was that the same one? This thing is really far from home. I mean, look at where we are. He had to have started in this village. He had to have, because I think we saw him like in the trees over here one time. Boy, that cat's really making his way around this world. And I think because he's an original spawned, like world spawned, not just like spawned because the villagers are making... Why is there a random mushroom here? This is weird. I bet the... Oh, probably like a log. That's weird. Okay, okay. Ooh, that's creepy. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, anyway, I think the cats that like spawn with the world, they don't despawn, I believe. Like, I think that cat's going to be here forever. That one. The ones that spawn because, you know, the villagers spawn cats. Ah, there's a beehive. There we go. The ones that spawn because villagers spawn cats, those, they go away after some amount of time. Okay, let's go ahead. Once he gets in there, let's see how many bees are in this. 2 bees. Okay. Excellent. So we can, I bet you can probably feed them these wildflowers too. When those bees come out, we'll go ahead and breed them up to 3 and get them back in their hive. Excellent. Then we'll have our 3 nests. What the time is it? Okay, good. I wonder how often we're going to run into that cat. It's got to be the same one. It's got to be. I don't remember what color that first one that we found was. The one that we found like over in here. I don't remember what color he was, if that was this tan cat or not. Speaking of which, I do still have the pictures of my cat. I tried taking pictures of the photographs with my phone, and they were terrible. Like, terrible. So, I still have them, and you guys will see pictures of Spot eventually. But I think, I know that my brother has a scanner. Because him and my mom one year did a whole big project where they scanned like thousands and thousands of photographs and then gave them to all of us on memory sticks for Christmas one year. So I know he has a scanner. So I think just next time I go visit over there, I'll bring those pictures of Spot and have him actually properly scan them. And then once I have those scans, you guys will finally see Spot. So. But you'll have to give me some time for that. I don't go visit too terribly often, so it might be a little while before I get a chance to go visit. So but just know that they're coming. I didn't forget about. Oh, there we go. I was about to say it's almost nighttime. I wonder if they'll both come out. I could solve that problem by sleeping, though. I'm gonna keep him interested in this flower. No. No, it's too dark. The other one's probably not going to come out. There you go. Out and out. Now let's get you... Make a baby. There you go, baby bee. And then once all 3 of them go back in, we'll pack up and head back home. Right, a little bee family. And come on, there you go. And then baby, you can do it. There you go. I knew you could do it. Boop, boop, there we go. All right. Now let's take these back home. We have to go west. West. All right. Well, good. Glad we found all 3 of those. We didn't have to go too far. It just takes a little bit of time to find them. Yeah, see, I bet that red mushroom was... I wonder if there was a more fully fallen log that we had found and already mined up at some point. I wonder if that's why that random mushroom was just sitting there by itself. Wait a minute. Where was that mushroom? Hold on a second. Do I even remember? Can I even find that again? Because now I'm thinking about it. Was that just a normal red mushroom, or was that like a nether mushroom? couldn't have been a nether mushroom. You can't plant those on grass. Oh, never mind. I'm getting distracted. I don't need to hunt down that mushroom. I'll have to go find that spot in the video and see what mushroom that was, because I don't know why, but for some reason in my mind right now, that was like one of the red nether mushrooms and not the normal red and white spotted mushroom, which that shouldn't be here. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm probably just wrong. Oh, look at that. We can see our our jungle tree. All right, let's get back home and we'll go ahead and get this beehive or bee farm, honey farm started. Let's also make a little bit more leather, because realizing now that I'm going to use bookshelves for decoration, I'm probably going to need to be making more books. I know I could probably buy some off of some of those villagers, but might as well craft them if I can. I'll buy some more if I need to, but because they are not the cheapest things to craft, but they're also not the cheapest things to buy. There we go. How much of this do we have? Let's go ahead and just harvest some more sugar cane here for some paper for our books. There we go. Alright, I always like to turn on my hitboxes and see which ones I missed. They tend to fly all over the place when you do that. And there you go. And turn those back off. Oh. Okay. Let's go ahead and put some of this stuff away. We got to decide where the bee farm is going to be. So the bee farm, I call it bee farm. It is a honey farm. You're farming honeys. Your honeys. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, my brain's a little fried this morning. It was a rough week at work. You're technically farming honey, but the bees are making it. I guess you would call, because even if you were just using those cows for milk, you would probably still call it a cow farm, not a milk farm, right? So I guess I'm fine calling it a bee farm. Where do we want to build that? It is probably something that we will put inside of a building, because it's just not the most attractive thing in the world, because it's kind of redstone-y. So it's got that redstoniness to it. See, if I put it up here, I haven't leveled this land out yet. I don't know where we want this thing. It is going to be in a building eventually. So where would our beehive building be? The bee building. The bee building. Where's the bee building going to be? We could put it over there by the cows. Let's do that. Let's build it over here by the cows, since we have already an animal farm. Let's put the bee farm over here. And then we could always rebuild it somewhere else, or put a building around it. Regardless, we can dress it up later, but we'll go ahead and plan to build it over there. So what I'm going to need for this, I'm going to need dispensers, comparators, glass, hoppers, all that kind of stuff. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm about ready for my mid-episode break, so let me go ahead and take a break and stretch my legs and top off my drink, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I feel refreshed, and I poked my head out on the front porch doing a doing a wasp check, and it is definitely getting hot out there. I'm happy to be indoors today. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get some more glass smelting just because we're going to need bottles. Yeah, let's just get more of this glass smelting. Let's see. Let's try to do this a little bit. I'm going to need a lot of bottles eventually because I just don't want to have to think about always going over there and checking on them. So let's really just make like some bottles here. There we go. Okay. Okay, the bee farm. Bee farm is not a very difficult thing to make. It's actually pretty easy as far as redstone farms go. So if you've never done one before and you feel a little bit intimidated by them, I'm going to show you they're not too bad. They're really not too bad. Let's go ahead and just start gathering some materials. So I'm going to need hoppers. Let's see, we need hoppers, dispensers, comparators. That's about it, really. Chests and stuff. Okay. So, what am I looking for? Something to make chests out of. I should have just a ton of wood over here somewhere. Okay. Let's see. We're going to need probably... Let's just make a ton of chests. We don't need that many, but we are going to need, I think... Yeah, let's go ahead and make those hoppers. I think we're probably going to need 6 hoppers, right? So, no, maybe only 3 hoppers. I'm probably overthinking this. Yeah, I made an awful lot of chests there, didn't I? That's okay. We'll have them. We'll use them all eventually. We will use them eventually. Dispensers. Let's go run over to our XP farm and get some bows out of that farm to make our dispensers with. No sense in spending... I really need to make a way over there that I don't have to worry about piglins. No sense in using up our string on making bows if there's free bows that come out of our XP farm. So might as well run over here and grab those. Gosh, you know, I really need to go ahead and get the netherite thing going. I just need to go ahead and bite the bullet and do it, because and the elytra. I really need to do those things. Okay, there's 1, 2, there's 3 bows. Awesome. I'll just use the most broken ones they got. You know what? I'll just bring all 5. We'll make 5 dispensers just so we have a few extras. You know what? I could probably heal up this shovel while we're here. Right? These have mending? Yeah, these have mending on them. Let's do that. Let's just take a minute to heal up these tools since we came out this far. Oh, not quite time to sleep yet. Boy, they're really coming down, aren't they? Nice. Oh, I still need to rig up the trash can and stuff for like these pieces of armor. It's time to sleep yet? Yeah, it's time to sleep. Oh yeah, wow, that shovel's hurting, isn't it? Yeah, so is that axe. I guess you have been chopping trees, and I leveled off all that dirt in the last episode. Was that last episode? I think that was last episode. Alright, the shovel's all good. Let's get that axe going. Let's let them build up a little bit. We'll go ahead and empty out some of their junk here. Do we have chests for all this stuff yet? Let's see. Yeah, we got arrows over here. And bones. Eventually I'll make the whole bone conversion thing. Oh, see, I've been combining the bows, but again, if I only need them for creating like dispensers, you can do it with broken bows. It used to be that they needed to be fresh bows. Like they had to be fully healed bows. but at some point they changed that. Alright, and the pickaxe looks fine. Let's go ahead and go back home. We'll take 6 bows with us. We'll make 6 dispensers. We're only going to need 3 of them for this farm, but it's always good to have a few on hand if you need them for anything else. So we don't have to... I guess we're taking a few things home with us too. Some gunpowders and stuff. So what do you guys think about the end fight, the elytra, fighting a dragon and looking for an elytra, and also doing the netherite grind in the bastion? So what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about... is that something you want to see soon? Do you want to see me do that soon? Or do we want to just concentrate, just keep the elytra away for now and just concentrate on doing stuff around the home for a while before we graduate to that level? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. It's got to be done eventually. Okay, so cobblestone. I need cobblestone to make these, and I need some redstone to make these dispensers. So basically, it's the dropper recipe with a bow in the middle makes a dispenser. So essentially, I can do that and then go bow. You just have to make sure you don't get click happy and then make a whole bunch of droppers if that's not what you're trying to make. There you go. There we go. Perfect. So again, I think I only need 3 of them for this farm. I think I only need 3 hoppers for this farm. Okay. And I probably only need... I think I'll do like 3 double chests to collect the stuff that comes out of the farm. So that's probably all I need for chests, are these 6 chests. Okay, we're going to need some comparators, so we're going to need redstone torches to make those comparators, and we're going to need some of this quartz to make those. Okay, let's go ahead and just going to make a bunch of torches here. And do they use... They use this kind of stone, right? I believe they do. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and make a bunch. We're going to need them eventually. But for this build, we need 3. Okay. We're going to need redstone. Let me stop putting that away. Let me just make sure we have more than enough. Okay. Because we're going to need about, let's see, 5. I think we need like 5 or 6 per, and that's times 3. Which is all like 18. Yeah, we got more than enough redstone. And I think that's it. Glass to help kind of box things in a bit. Yeah, I think that's everything. Oh no. We need something for the bees to eat. Or not eat. We can use leaves. We'll use leaves. Leaves. They want jungle leaves? No, they want flower leaves. They want cherry leaves. We'll give them pink leaves. I need shears to get those. There's several things we could do with this, but we'll do leaves. Okay. Shears. Here we go. Here we go. We'll grab a couple of these leaves, and that's what our bees will eat. That's how they'll make their honey from. I do like all the little falling petals. Okay. So we just need 3 of those. I think that might be everything we need. I'm certain. I am absolutely 100% certain I'm missing something. but I don't care. What do we want to make the structure? Let's make the structure of this, like as far as just like the solid block aspect of it. Let's make it out of like bamboo. You know, a nice yellow to go with the bees. Hello, Gollum. Step away from the bamboo. There we go. Okay. All right. Oh, I would like to fix this up. Of course, again, this is a very simple design, but I tweaked it a little bit on my game with zinc, and also those villagers kept climbing in here, so I had to kind of fence off this back side. The villagers would get in here, and then they would try to squeeze up next to the gas, and the gas would sit there going like blah 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 blah. He would like flip back and forth. He was like freaking out. Poor guy. So there we go. Let's see. Let's do this, and let's go ahead and make bamboo planks out of all of that, and we will make a couple of slabs. I think we'll need a couple of slabs. I think so. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're ready. So, bee farm. Okay, first of all, horse. Let's move you over here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Where are their hearts? Oh, they probably have to be tamed. Okay. I thought I was going to make a little baby horse. Okay. Alright, we'll just put the bee farm here facing this way. So we're going to want it emptying out into, let's see, we want emptying into the chests, and then it's going to be, the bees are going to be at that level, then the thing. Let's see. I'm trying to visualize it before I place everything. So if we had the hoppers here, we can move that a little. We can move that away from the wall just a little bit. Doesn't have to be right up that close to the wall. We'll do it here. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the beehives, bee nest, will sit right there. Am I already doing this wrong? Hold on a second, because then the flowers will be below them. I'm already doing it wrong. Okay, let's see. Let's put these chests in the ground. There we go. And then we'll put the hopper feeding into them. And then the beehive, and then the flower, and then I can't access my chest because if the flowers are here, they look so funny with they're being all fuzzy. Just because it's going to make my building a little bit easier, let me remove that one for now. Or do I have to remove it, or can I just like move it like all the way down below default? I'll move it down below default. Okay, just because when I'm building, I just don't want that in my way. Okay, but then I can't access them unless I came around behind it and all that mess. So, but I could always just do. I could put like, let's see. Here I am making a new crafting table everywhere I go. You know, I'm gonna need a crafting table as part of this build anyway, so I need one over here anyway. But if I did this, I could put these right here. Oops. And then that way, there we go. That way you can access the chest that way. Okay, yeah, that works. That works for me. Need to sleep. Okay. So again, beehives will be here. The bees will come out into here, and they'll have a little little chamber here to be in. Okay. Okay. So technically, we can remove all the unnecessary pieces just so we can focus on what the farm actually needs. So those need to be there to keep the bees inside their little box. Okay. Okay, so then the redstone. So the first thing is we're going to put a block behind. Let's put the before we make it hard to position them, let's do the dispenser. So we need the dispensers facing down. So I need to be able to like look up and place it like there. There we go. One there. There we go. So those dispensers are pointing into the beehive. So whenever the dispenser, you know, if there's shears in here and it uses the shears, it will use it against the beehive, and then the output will fall into this hopper and then into the chest. So that's the idea. And then the redstone is just how do we trigger those. That's all. And we're going to do that by putting a block behind it, I think. Right? I think so. And then we need something coming off the bottom of it. A redstone, and then it needs to come up a block to here. And then it's going to like come over to these. Oh, let me get the comparators in before I make it hard to get in here. So we're going to put 3 comparators along the back side. So the comparator is behind this block because the comparator is going to read how much honey is in these beehives. And the comparator can read through, if the comparator was either out of the back of this block, it can read it, or through a block. So it can read this beehive through this block, as long as this is solid. So when the beehives are being filled up with honey, as you can see, this has a honey level of 0 of 5, 5 of 5, and 5 of 5. Each level of honey makes it a stronger signal. So we want the 5 signal to wrap around up here and trigger those dispensers once they are full. But only not until they're full. Okay? And this will read that signal strength. And what's going to happen is we're going to put some more over here, but then to make this leap up this stairs, we either use glass or slabs. I'll use slabs. So now what's going to happen is when the beehive has 1 level of honey, it'll go 1 strength, and we'll get a signal that far. And then when the beehive has another honey, it'll get a 2 strength, which brings it that far, and a 3rd honey, and then a 4th honey, and then a 5th honey. And once it gets there, that triggers the dispenser. Now, will it actually trigger it on that square, or do I need a solid block in front of that? That should do it, because that redstone, this redstone should power this block, which should activate this dispenser. So I believe that's all we need. I don't think we need a block on top of that dispenser. Because we might... Oh, sorry, I keep falling off of this thing. I don't mean to be moving the camera so much. I just keep falling off. Because sometimes, like, you would say, like, that redstone would power this to activate that dispenser. But I think it should activate the dispenser from here. If for some reason it doesn't, then we'll fix it. We'll put a solid block here. But that's it. That's the whole farm. And then we're just going to do that for all of those. And the way this works is, like, even though they're all connected, like, once this gets up to a level of 5, this 5 is here, but then that's a 4. Right? So it's only going to trigger this one. It's not going to trigger them both. Right, if this one came all the way up to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are 4s here. So again, only this one will trigger. So even though all this redstone's connected, each one will only trigger its dispenser to fire. That's it. That's the whole thing. So let's just double check that 5 is going to work. And I can probably squeeze in a 5-level bee nest, but I need to be careful because the bees are immediately going to... Oh, come on, horse. Okay, my carrot. Sorry. There we go. I have to be careful placing this because the bees are going to try to get out immediately, and I want them to be in that box when they come out. So let me... I can probably target it this way. Okay. It did. Did you? Okay. You heard the bees pop out and in or whatever, but you also heard the thing trigger. So the honeycomb triggered. Okay. So a lot happened when I placed that block. I placed that block. It read it got the 5 strength signal, which triggered this dispenser to use these shears, which dropped the honeycomb. But also at the exact same time, the bees, I think, like came out and right back in or something. Because I heard them go blunk blunk. That seems weird. I don't think the bees should have done that, but that's okay. No problem. We're good. Yeah, so there you go. So now I just have to get the other 2 bee hives in there without letting these out. Which, let's see. Let me go get some of those glass bottles first. Oh, hey, kitty. Let's see. Okay. I think I'm going to make 3 stacks of bottles. Like, I'm going to make all of these into bottles. And then we're going to put basically a stack and a half in each of those dispensers. The bottles are reusable. When you make the honey blocks out of them, it does not use up the bottles. Yeah, after you craft the actual honey blocks, you get the bottles back, so I can recycle them. You just don't want the farm to run out. Well, since those bees are nestled in their little home, let me try this other one real quick. If I let the bees out, I'll be a little upset. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. See, I should do this either at night or when it's raining, because then the bees will stay in their hives. There. Okay. I guess they didn't actually come out, they just made that noise. So that should have... Oh, the honey bottle stayed up here because... Okay. Yeah, that's a thing. So you have to fill it. You have to have all the squares full, or else the honey bottles will stay up in there. If the dispenser's full, they don't have anywhere to go, and they'll fall through to here. So we might have to make more bottles eventually just to make sure that these things stay nice and full. Because, you know, every time it triggers, a random one will go, which means if it hits this random one 10 times, we now have a hole. Which means when it triggers, it could potentially select the honey bottle and not an empty bottle, and yeah, bad things happen. Not bad, but just not what you want. So now this middle one, I'm not going to be able to sneak this in without these bees getting out. I can try. Let's try. If they get out, we'll get them back somehow. We'll figure it out. Okay. Boom. Boom. Nice. Okay. See, normally I would wait and I would actually place those in there at night when the bees won't come out. All right. Awesome. So now we're done. That's the bee farm. Bee farm's ready to go. I think we're going to need more bottles just because I don't want there to become empty holes in here and then break the farm. As far as shears, we have an iron farm. We can make as many of those as we want. And everything will come down here once it's produced. Okay. let's see, we had a stack and a half in each. See, and they come out, and then they get their little honey from the flowers, from the flower leaves. Then they hop back in their little beehives, and then they do their thing. And you're going to see, so right now, some of them actually have some signal strength coming out. See, like this beehive over here is a honey strength of 4 already. So the next time, and next time one of the bees comes out, when the bees come out is whenever the honey level changes. So the next time a bee comes out, this one will go up to 5, and that'll trigger this one. And whenever next two bees that come out of this will trigger this one, and then the next 3 bees that come out of this one will trigger that one. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. I want to keep this crafting bench over here because I want to be able to. Actually, you know what? I don't need a crafting bench to do the bottles because it's. I believe it's just 4 bottles, so I probably don't even need the crafting bench, but. I'll stick it here for now. That's fine. Not going to hurt anything. All right, so that's the bee farm. So I want to go ahead and make more bottles for that because I don't want those things to become empty. Like, I don't need 18 stacks of honey bottles, but I don't want them to empty because I don't want those slots to become empty. So let's go ahead and go ahead and get more. I'm running out of this stuff, aren't I? Fuel and stuff is becoming an issue for me. Okay, let's go ahead and get hold on a second. I'm going to do this smart. There we go. There we go. So we'll go oh, I'm really running low, aren't I? Well, we'll go ahead and start getting some. We'll start making some charcoal here. Start making some more charcoal fuel. And I'm going to run over there to the beach and try to get a few more stacks of sand real quick. Just so we can start making enough bottles to keep that thing from topping out. Okay, let's first put this stuff away here. There we go. And redstone. And let's grab a boat. And let's go get ourselves some more sand. So I'm looking for quite a bit of sand. Is there a better source? You know, we can just come around the back side of this and start taking out some of that. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Yeah, so I'm going to need, let's see, if I need 18 stacks of bottles to make sure those things are just slam full. I already have 3 stacks in there, so I need 15 stacks of sand to smelt. 15. Yeah, 15 stacks. Okay. Let's do that. That shouldn't take us too long with this shovel. Alright. This sand dune is going to be hurting pretty bad after this. So, I mentioned that I went out and did a wasp check during my little break there. So the wasp saga continues. If you're here a couple episodes ago, you heard about the first nest that I had to take care of, and then when I was cleaning up cobwebs and stuff, I almost disturbed a second nest. Luckily, I was inches away from putting myself probably in the emergency room from that one. But ever since then, I think like my front porch is like primo real estate for wasps because they seem to just love it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the position with the the way it's shaded from the sun, and I don't know. But they seem to really like my front porch, apparently. At least this year they do. So I've already discovered there was one wasp trying to start a new nest on top of like the nub from one of that first one. So I discovered him and took care of him or her. I don't know what. That's actually a good question. Is it like a female wasp that starts building the nest so that it can start laying its eggs in it? Or do male wasps build it to attract a mate, kind of like birds? I don't know. I don't know how they work. Anyway. One wasp. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look, I already got 9 stacks of sand. This is gonna be quick. All right. Anyway, and then like a week later or whatever, I noticed that like on another spot on the underside of the basically the ceiling of the porch, but this was like opposite of where that first one was. That first one was kind of on the lip, and then anyway, it's hard to describe without showing you. But anyway, nearby that one, but not next to it, I discovered 2 wasps building a nest. They already had like 2 little cells built, little cells where their little larvae grow. Then these are all paper wasps. They're making like the paper nests. So I found those and I got rid of those. And then I was cleaning up, and then I found there was one of them trying to build a nest on the porch light. Right on the little bottom tip of the porch light. So I got him taken care of. And then literally just yesterday, and now I'm just like, every couple of days I'm going to go out there, and if there's another wasp trying to start a nest, I'm going to just take care of them before it becomes a nest, And so I went out there yesterday after work, and there was one. Now, this one was a mud dauber, not a paper wasp. So rather than building like starting with the little sticky nub and then they build like the paper cells, this thing was making like what looked like a half-melted meatball of mud. And it was literally like right above my door. So like I have a glass storm door on my front door, right? So the door for the house opens inward, and then the glass storm door swings outward. Well, that storm door, it's like whatever it is, aluminum or whatever, painted white, It's in a frame, right? And I'm not just talking like the wooden door frame. I mean like it's in a bit of an aluminum frame, right? So literally right above like the door. So the door like swings open and closed like this is the top of the door. There's literally like so this is the top of the door, right? And this is the inside of the house, and this is the outside of the house. Literally right above the door, there's a bit of aluminum that sticks out the same like length as the door. Right, so the door has something to like seal up against, right? And then like, oh gosh, I'm doing this with sand, right? So then that's the little lip of aluminum that comes out over the door itself, whereas this is like the frame, right? And then this little lip has like an upturn on it. Right? So if I were to put a backward stair right there, that would look exactly like it. And so there's a little bit of a channel so that water can trickle into that and then go away from the door and not straight down into the door crack, right? That mud dauber wasp was building his nest right there, literally right there. And when I opened the door and walked out, if I were to look up, that wasp would have been like 2 inches from my eyeball. That's where he was building this nest. And like I saw that and I was like, whoa. And I immediately because I kind of opened the door and started walking out to the porch. And then I saw that. And I was like, whoa. So I went back in. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to get out there and take that guy out. Because that's just, that ain't good. So so then I went and got my can of, we'll just call it wasp deterrent. And then when I went back out, now that this door has opened and closed a couple of times, he finally decided that he wasn't cool with it. And when I opened that door, he flew down, which means if I'd have pulled that door closed, I would have pulled him into the house with me. So he went down, and I literally just pushed the door even further open and just kind of swatted, just not to hit him, but just to like scare him to go out and not in. And he did. He went out, and then I ran inside like a little baby, and then I just gave him a couple minutes. And then I very carefully went back outside, and he had not come back to his nest yet. He was still frightened enough to stay away. And so then I basically just sprayed his little mud meatball there with the wasp spray. And then when I noticed that he wasn't coming back, I went out with like the back end of a claw hammer and basically scraped that thing off of my door frame. So the wasp war continues. Oh my gosh, this is getting pretty insane with these things. I've never had wasp this bad on my porch before. This is pretty crazy. 4, 4, and 4. Okay, so they're even. Put some in there, and there, and in there. All right, and we're going to start some of the sand cooking. So we need 15 stacks of this, so we need those. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We need all of those smelted. So we'll put 5 in each. There we go. Let's see if we have enough fuel for all of that. There we go. Let's see. A stack takes 8, which means we're going to need like 40 fuel in each. No, we're not going to have enough fuel. We can make some more coal, but we don't have a ton. We don't have fortune yet. This is becoming an issue. I'm trying to do stuff. Is there like a... Oh, we covered up that lava pool that we found right under here, didn't we? What am I talking about? The nether is right there. The nether is right there. Okay. Let's get some buckets. We got an iron farm. Okay. Let me get some lava just to save some of our fuel. This is really good. Look, we're up over 2 stacks of blocks already. And we got 3 bone blocks. Nice. That's been doing very well. Okay, that was that. Okay. Just as I was coming up, I thought I heard a baby zombie. Well, there could be a cave under there somewhere. Let's see. Let's go ahead and let's make some buckets. Let's go get ourselves some lava. I know I can make a lava farm, but I mean, that would honestly be extremely easy to make. But for now, let me just go scoop some out of the nether real quick, and I can at least like put a little bit of fuel in this thing to not use up all of that charcoal that we just made. Safe way down. Oh, looks like I already did something here. There we go. That's all I needed. Perfect. Okay. Oh, you know what? I don't have gold on me. Okay, good thing there weren't normal piglins swarming this area. let's see. Let's ski-daddle. Get on out of here. I should probably make a villager. I probably should make a librarian or two this episode because I need to slowly keep working towards that goal. Sorry about that. I had a little scratch. Well, I had a little itch I had to scratch. I should be working towards that goal because we're going to need 18 total. We have like 6 of them now. Well, these were a third of the way. That's not too bad, actually. I wonder if I should take a moment to do a villager or two before we start. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Let's go ahead and put that one in there. And put that one in there. And in a minute, we'll come check it and replace it with a fresh one. I'll see that one already needs a fresh one. So there you go. Once those two burn down, they'll need a fresh one as well. Because now this thing is going to do like... How many does that do? I forget how much. I think it does like 100 or something, right? So that's like a roughly stack and a half, I think. This one's almost done. There you go. And then we'll put that there. And then this one needs a new one there. All right, we'll come back in a minute. We'll come back in a couple minutes and put those last 3 in those. And yeah, we'll save some of that fuel. Let me go ahead and get 3 more. I should just build a farm. I should just build a farm. Do we have dripstone? Have we seen dripstone in this world? Was there dripstone in that big cave? I mean, it's got to be, right? There was a lot. That was a big cave. I'm thinking now if we've seen dripstone. I'll have to look and see if we brought any dripstone back, if we have seen it or not. Now, I wouldn't necessarily have brought any of them back if we saw it, because that wasn't the goal at the time, but sometimes, especially early game, I'll grab a few just anticipating that we'll need a lava farm eventually. So let's see if we have any of that dripstone, because I could just... I mean, we got the iron now, right? We can make the cauldrons. So I literally just need 3 little pointed dripstones, and that's all I need to do a lava farm real quick. And one thing I noticed, like, I often, like, I don't smelt enough to need tons, like I'll have a lava farm, and sometimes like I'll go smell something, I'll use 1 or 2 buckets of lava real quick, but then I won't use any more after that for like a long time. Like they'll be more than full. Do I have dripstones in one of these rando block chest things? No. Should I look for some real quick? You know, why not? I know it's a distraction, and I said I was going to be working on a library. But we haven't gone in a cave for a while. So let's go ahead and hop down into our cave system here and see if we can find us some dripstone real quick. Why not? Why not? We're going to need to do it eventually. And if we just need to smelt some stuff now and then, it's a lot easier to just throw a bucket of lava in a furnace than to have to keep cutting down trees and making fuel and all that jazz. Wee-hoo. Curse splash. Look at that creeper up there. Look at you. I should probably put that up. Okay, so this led us down here to this cave we were in before. I wonder if there's any dripstone over that way. You know what? I don't think the dripstone is going to be so deep that it's going to be down in that... Oh, you know what? There's lava down there. Oh, you know, the nether was actually closer. If we find dripstone, it's going to be more up here by the surface, right? It's not going to be, like, deep down. So I don't think going deep into this cave is going to show us what we want. Maybe there isn't any dripstone here. Yeah, that's usually up here by the surface, right? Maybe we haven't found any of this yet. I wonder if we've... Are there any, like, big open caves around? I'm looking for just like big open cave mouths or whatever that might could possibly open into. What is that? That must be like dirt from like a whatever. I was looking to see if there's any big open cave mouths that could potentially have, the potential for dripstone. Nah, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell in any of these things. That map doesn't really show that. Let's just take a quick walk. We'll devote 10 minutes to looking for dripstone. If we don't find anything, we'll be done. Okay. I don't want this whole episode to become exploring for dripstone. Again, all I need is like 3 little bits of it so I can... Because one thing that's great with of course, if I find dripstone, I'll have dripstone. Not like I'll only get 3 pieces of it. But the fun thing is like to make lava with dripstone, you just need the pointed dripstone. It can go through any block. But if you want to make water with dripstone or more dripstones, you need an actual dripstone for that pointed dripstone to be attached to. But for lava, you can actually use any block. And I never realized that until my friend Emmy showed that to me on Craftworks. And by the way, she's probably in my friends of Oda too. She's an amazing content creator. If you like Minecraft content, you should check her out. But Emmy showed me that she likes to use glass as that block because it lets the light of the lava through and everything and looks really, really cool. And I've fallen in love with that. So when I make my lava farms, I'll put glass and I'll attach the dripstone to the bottom of the glass. It looks pretty awesome. I'm really just wanting to find a big cave opening with dripstone in it. That's all I'm looking for. Now, do those like... is that a thing that, like, I've never paid attention to where you find dripstone? Is that a thing where there's, like, certain biomes are more likely to spawn dripstone caves or something? Like, in other words, like, if I'm walking around here in forest... Hey. Let's go check that out. Of course, my no crafting brain just went like, ooh, I can get usable stuff out of that. But honestly, for us in this game, it's not going to be too useful. Let's see what's in here. A silk touch pick. I mean, that's not terrible. I mean, like if I was, if this was my no crafting world, that right there would be like, I used up mine by accident. A lodestone, very nice. Oh, I might could take some of this crying obsidian. That's hard to find. There we go. Oh, it's nighttime. It's nighttime. We are really exposed out here. I'm just taking a peek real quick before I sleep if I see any dripstone nearby. I was saying something before I saw this, and it's completely left me. I'm sorry. If I was in the middle of a thought, I don't remember what it was. My apologies. Yeah, I just wanted that crying obsidian because that's harder. Oh, well, hey. You want to sell me a map? Maps. And you have thorns. Boy, you're a crazy one. You had all the things. Okay, let's go ahead and put that away. I still have my shield out. I guess that's good because I am exploring. Yeah, I just need to find Dripstone Cave so I can get that and get out of here. I need to watch out. I'm not indestructible yet. I don't have... Oh, I do. My boots are, actually. Never mind. I can jump off anything I want. I got my super boots already. Like, that feels like something that would have dripstone in it. Man, maybe not. Man, oh, this is going to be hard to find. This is one of those things where, like, you stumble upon them all the time, and they're no big deal, and then as soon as you need some, you have no idea where to find it. Hey, frogs! Oh, that's good to know that we got some frogs this close by, because eventually we're going to want to make a farm with them and make our, whatchamacallits. Yeah, the whatchamacallits. Frog lights. That's what you call it. Let's see. Let's see over there if there's a cave over there with some dripstone in it. See, like, I feel like this is a wet environment. Wouldn't this have, like, dripstone caves nearby? Is that how it works? Again, I don't know if there's any, like, biome requirements for... Hey, I'm going to take some. I don't really need to take these because I can use bone meal to make more, but I'm going to take them anyway. Yeah, I don't know if there's certain biomes that are more likely to spawn dripstones than others. What's... Oh my gosh. I literally saw the feet of that sheep and I thought that was dripstone. Okay. Like, I thought that was the right color. I should probably grab some of these brown mushrooms just in case, like, you know, once we get to where we need to start making those potions, we're going to need brown mushrooms. Okay. We got about 4 more minutes to look for dripstone caves, and then we turn around. So let's see. Okay, we're out of the swamp. I don't know if that is good or bad. Dripstone, dripstone. Oh, wait, I'm not here for coal. Not here for coal. Let me turn around. Let's see. Get out. Now I'm stuck. Now I'm stuck. The coal is slowing me down. Well, the coal isn't, but my distraction is slowing me down. Let's be more honest. It's my distraction, not the coal. Oh, man. That looked like a primo spot for some dripstone. Ooh, rose bushes. Do we have rose bushes yet? Those are good to have. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to get across to those rose bushes. This is a huge ravine. This has got to be more than one ravine. I'm just trying to find my way around it. Okay, that sounds like a normal bark, but that's got to still be the new sounds, though. I don't think I have that thing on here yet. Dripstone. Dripstone by the water? No. If I was a dripstone, where would I be? I would be in a nice wet cave by the water, by a swamp. I think we're out of luck. We only got about another minute to look for dripstone, and then we're turning around. Come on, dripstones, dripstones, dripstones. And now we're nowhere near. There's a fire over there. I could just turn off fire tick, and that would solve all the fire problems, but hey, why not keep it on? Oh, you know what? That could also affect wherever I do this lava farm. There's no red mushroom. I'm going to take one of the little red ones. Okay. Okay, let's just go to the other side of this little part of the swamp and see if we can find a cave that has dripstone, and then we're going to turn around. I wonder if there's a witch hut around here. Hey, there's a bee. We've done the bees, though. We don't need the bees anymore. We got our bees. Okay, didn't find any dripstone caves, so let's start heading back. So let's go ahead and... Oh gosh, we went pretty far, didn't we? We're almost at our... That's our XP farm. Of course, we can't get up to it. We can't get up to it. Okay. Let's go back home, but I'll kind of make a wide berth around this way just to see if we happen to find anything that way. So we'll kind of make like an arc back home. Like, there's a mountain. I know that's not back home, and I know I said I'd only devote 10 minutes to this. But I feel like these mountains typically have, like, that could have a big dripstone cave at the base of it or something. Isn't that how they work? Oh, there's another nether portal. Oh, this is one that's like completely fallen down. There's the chest. Another silk touch axe. Oh my gosh, my no crafting world is like screaming right now. It's so jealous. It is so jealous. I can hear it. And again, that world's not dead. I've just not been feeling the inspiration on it lately. I've been enjoying this one more. But yep, that world is not gone. I will definitely get back to it. Just got to get some inspiration for it is all. Oh, I was hoping there'd be some dripstone at the base of this thing. Nothing. Okay, I give up. Let's take our wide arc back home. Our arc goes that way, right? East and then south. Okay. Actually hopped into that world just the other day trying to get some inspiration for what to build next or do next. So, thinking about what I can do with that interior of that big crazy base. But the one thing with that, right? So the whole purpose of that was to see if I could create like an entire world using the no crafting restriction, right? But I feel like a lot of the challenge of the no crafting has kind of passed. At this point, I'm just playing Minecraft with janky tools in that world. And then, of course, you know, just can't get the blocks that I would like to build with. So I think that might be part of why I'm losing a little bit of inspiration with it. It's kind of like the real challenge is surviving with that restriction. And then once you've gotten past that, I kind of feel like the challenge just becomes more like, well, now I'm playing Minecraft with a handicap instead of, you know, not so much a challenge, more of just a negative. I don't know. It's weird. But rather than stress over it, I figured, you know what? I'll just let it chill in the background for a little bit, see if I can get some inspiration of what to do with that base and everything. And then eventually I will, and I'll be back in that world. So again, it's not gone forever. I'm just going to poke my head and just see if that over there, is there any dripstone like in that cave? No. Okay, fine. Home is kind of this way. Almost time to sleep again. Yeah, this water. Oh, look at all these fireflies in this spot. Oh, look at this. I wonder, do I still have the shaders on, right? On this game? Oh, it immediately went really dark as soon as I turned them on. Look at that. Look at that. How beautiful that is. Wow, with the stars coming out now. So nice, so nice, so nice. Okay. Let's see. East and then south. So this is the way back home. And Dripstone Cave. Dripstone Cave. No. Over there. That could have Dripstone Cave in it, right? Oh. Let's go say hi to these villagers while we're over here. I don't really know what I need from a random village. But we might as well poke our heads over here anyway and say hi and see what they're up to. And see if they have a Dripstone Cave near them. Even though I'm done looking for one. I really don't need a lava farm. I don't know why I'm obsessing over this. But honestly, I figured I would have found the dripstone by now. That's the only reason why I'm still out here looking for it. This is some weird terrain. The dirt goes on top of the trees. Look at that. That's goofy. Okay. Hey, they got babies over here. Hey, baby. Emeralds, I'll take the emeralds. Nice little flower beds. A nitwit. They got a nitwit over here. You don't see them very often. Might as well take a free one of these. We need an extra one. Don't need to craft it. Yeah, we still need to consider. I could take all of this stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and pull up all of that. What was I getting ready to say? Yeah, we still need to consider getting a cleric over there to our XP farm so we can turn our zombie meat into emeralds. All of that is going to happen eventually, so anything upstairs in this house? No. Okay, I don't think there's really too much that we can really get from this village. Let's see, was there another house over this way? I think there was one. Yeah, let's just take a look at that one and then we'll head on. Dripstone, no dripstone caves. See, I figured the bases of mountains like that would have dripstone caves in them. I feel like that's where you normally find them. Let's see, what house is this? This is a fancy house. Ooh, it's a Fletcher house. We got 3 Fletchers. We don't need to steal their table. I'm just going to poke my head at the base of this mountain, see if we can find any. Then I'll really, really go home, and we'll start looking at this library, or at least getting set up. No, I don't see any. Fine. I have been defeated. No dripstone for you. None for you. All right. Well, you know, wandering traders sometimes sell it, so you never know. If nothing else, a wandering trader might come by and sell us some pointed dripstone. Even if he just sells us regular dripstone blocks, we could create pointed dripstones, I think. Do you need one to start it, or do you just need water above a block? Will that start dripstone on its own, or does it need at least one to get it growing? Who knows? Who knows? If we run into this situation, we'll find out. But that seems like a pretty rare situation that we find a wandering trader selling dripstone blocks before we find a cave or something. Okay. There's lava to our right, according to my little map here. Like a lot of it. It could be like a lava spill. That looks, wow, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, wow. It's a forest fire. Let's see. All right, well. Oh, a sheep farm. Eventually we need to do like all the farms. Like we're gonna be doing like everything in this world. My intention that this world is gonna be like, we're gonna do like all the things. So sheep farm eventually. Yep. Wool farm. All of that. That'll be done one day. Let's see. Alright. Any dripstone caves? And dripstone caves? I am still heading the right way, right? Oh gosh. Wow, I'm really okay, I need to start going back southwest. I thought I was okay. I didn't realize my arc I was making was this large. Hey dolphin, get me to the other side faster. Woohoo! Whoa! Thank you. Any dripstone down there? No. Southwest. Okay. It's funny, it seems like darker than it, like it feels like it's almost dark enough to sleep, but it's not even close to that. Okay, I think at this point we're pretty much in this birch forest that we're finding the bees in, aren't we? Whoa, dripstone? No. Okay. Okay. Oh. Boy, if this is... Let's say, if there ever was a candidate for a dripstone cave, I feel like this ravine would have had it. About that side of it. Oh wow, that coloration of that had me going for just a brief second. Look at that skeleton hiding in the shadows. What was that? What is that? Oh, I don't know what it was. It just vanished, whatever it was. Maybe it was like a something in leather armor. Okay, none down there. Okay. Are we at the point yet where we need to be going west? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Now we're just back in our bee forest. I'll take some of these. These are cute. And these are, I think, relatively hard to like like if we bone mealed this, I don't think we get more of these. I think these kind of have to just be discovered, I believe. Yep. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's get back home. We have spent this entire episode not doing the library that I opened the episode saying I was going to do. Oh, look, there's another beehive. We don't need it. We don't need it. Let's see. Okay, there's our home. Okay. All right. Well, sorry for that big long side quest that gained us nothing. Well, it didn't gain us nothing. We've got, I mean, virtually nothing. We got really nothing we needed. Okay. Let's see. What about this side of this cave? If there's dripstone like right here, I'm just gonna I was going to say scream, but I wouldn't do that to you. Okay. All right. Oops. Whatever. Okay, now it's definitely dark enough to sleep. Okay. All right, let's empty our stuff. Let's see what's going on with our farm over here. Oh yeah, this chunk hasn't really been loaded, has it? So nothing's been going on with this. Okay, that was a bit of a... Okay, dude, I'm just trying to get to my chest, man. Stay out of my way. There we go. Let's get some of those flowers in here. These will be in this chest here. Oak goes over here. We've got... I'll tell you what, do we have a dump chest? We don't have a dump chest. This is our dump chest for now. Let me just dump this stuff in here. We'll sort that out later. Let's do a little something, because now we've got very little time left in this episode. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This probably hasn't done much, because these chunks really haven't been loaded this whole time. Well, that one's gotten 3 bottles, so we can just double check. With these 3 bottles, we make... Yeah, there we go. There's our honey block. There's 1. We've gotten 1. And then... Oh, you know what? I need easy access up to be able to refill, so we'll move this. Really? It's going to do that to me? Come on. We'll put this... here, so at least it gives us a place we can hop up. So we can put like put these 2 here, put these 2 here. There we go. Yeah, so we can at least make 1 villager bench. Oh my gosh, I feel like this entire episode has been a distraction, so I'm sorry for that. Let's see. You know what? Maybe let's go ahead and craft more books. Let's craft more books. We brought a bunch of leather back, didn't we? Yeah. Let's maybe do like half of that into books for now. We have paper already. Let's go ahead and make some of those. Where was the paper? Was the paper up here with the books? It must have been. Okay. Okay, and we're going to need planks to make our bookshelves. So let's go ahead and make some bookshelves. Okay. So we're going to want bookshelves for this. I kind of like the idea of those, like the stairs and the trap doors. And the oak... The oak goes with the... I kind of want spruce for that part of it. I'll say the oak goes with the top of these bookshelves, but we don't need everything to be like the same material. So let's use some of our spruce. And let's see what like some spruce trapdoors might look like. And some stairs. We'll see what that looks like. Let's make a few more. Yeah, we got plenty of jungle wood. Let's just make a few more bookshelves, just so we have them. There we go. So let's think about how... Do I have everything I need? Let's see. Let's see if there's bookshelves on the front. What would the sign be? We'll see what the jungle sign looks like because that's what we have. And then let's just bring a piece of carpet just so you guys can get an idea of what's going on here. I mean, I think you guys have an idea of what's going on here. I don't need to... And you know, we might use like red carpet or something. You know, that might be something that we'll eventually need to do like a farm with. Let's go ahead and just dye these red real quick just so we can see what that looks like. We should have some flowers. Okay. Okay. I don't know what the floor of this library is going to be made out of. That's the carpet would look just silly against grass, but let's go ahead and think about what this is going to be like. So if we're thinking like we need room for the building and stuff. So let's say the first desk is like here. Right? So a desk is basically going to need like essentially this much space, right? This back one is going to be the trap doors. And then we're going to have like a space, and then the... Are we going to have like... Okay. So we'll probably have like essentially the front of it here. That'll be a thingy. And then a space, and then a trap door here. But that's enough room to come around and read his little sign and stuff. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's consider... Let me get a junk block. Let me get some junk blocks. Let's get... We probably have a ton of netherrack. We were using that for junk building blocks earlier. Or not earlier, but like back when we did the iron converter thingy. Let's go ahead and use some of this netherrack as junk blocks just so we can get sizing here. Let me get more just because. Just because. Okay, there we go. Okay. So let's plan out where these desks are going to be. So we'll say this is one desk, and we'll say it wraps like that, essentially. And then we got trapdoors on the back. So then we got boom, trapdoors, and then wrap. Okay. Okay, boom, boom. So we're just kind of getting an idea of our spacing and stuff here, what all kind of room and space we're going to need. It's funny how sometimes like they glitch and get that little break thing on it, and then you just have to touch it once for it to go away. So 1, 2, 3. We're talking about 3 rows of 6, right? So that's because there's like 18 main books that we need. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and whoops, that's not the right place. And 6. So then I was thinking we would have a 2 wide walkway in between each row and then have like the next desk starting there. Right? And then have a 2 wide walkway and then the next desk here. And then we have plenty of room to build the wall on this side, the side of the building. There'll be probably a gap. We'll have an interior bit and an exterior bit and then some room for some details. And that gets us right into the spawn zone of that. I think that's going to work actually. We could shift this whole thing over a couple more blocks and not have it quite so tight against that. I think that's smart. Let's see if we instead do it like here. Okay. So like that's the width of the interior of the work floor of the interior. So this we could always move sideways. This wall is not a permanent structure. And then this is the depth of it. So then we got enough room over here to build like, you know, again, the back wall of the library. Say it's back here. You got maybe an interior, so you got an exterior, got some detailing. And again, this wall can always move out a little bit as well. I think this is a good spot. I think this is good. I'm liking this. Okay, yeah, I'm liking this. Hopefully you're kind of starting to see the vision. See the vision that I had here. And of course, this will look way cooler than just a bunch of guys against the wall shoved in little boxes. There we go. A bunch of little busy librarians at their desks scribbling away, making our magic books. That's going to be pretty awesome. That's going to be really awesome. And of course, when you come in through the front door, oh, granted, oh God, that's right. This might be up a couple of blocks because I'm going to want like stairs or something leading up into this. Let me get something real quick to use as like some kind of temporary flooring here. We have jungle wood. I don't knock the floor of this build is not going to be jungle wood, but we have jungle wood at the moment in plenty. Oh, that's, I don't even know what I was going to say there. We have a lot of it. We have a lot of it. That's what I was going to say. It is plentiful. That's, I think, what my brain was trying to say. It is plentiful for us right now. I'll just keep a few in case we need junk blocks. Okay, so let's say, for example, we're going to come in. We're going to want a bit of an opening. We don't want to come in like the front door is here and then the first desk is like right there like he's a receptionist. So we're going to want something like maybe the front, maybe the doors kind of come out this far. And we'll say it's at least we'll say it's too high. We got like, you know, a too high stairwell to get into this building or something. Okay. And then the floor can be at this level. Why not? Why not? That sounds perfect. So let me do this. Let me try to get at least a couple of these here. Up where it's going to be. Should have brought more planks. I should have brought more planks. I could have made these into slabs. I probably could have made these into slabs. But again, this is a temporary floor. This isn't our normal floor. So, let's see. So this is going to be this desk, that desk. Okay. So we're going to have a lectern here. So imagine this is the guy's lectern. Okay. And we're going to have a little sign on front. I know it it matches the floor, but it won't later. And like, we'll say the first guy we come across is mending. Like, we're going to put the mending guy front and center. And the guy right next to him is going to be unbreaking. I know I misspelled it. I don't care. And this one over here will probably be like protection. Because that's our other one that goes on like 4 different things. So we'll have like our 3 main guys, right? So this, like, the first guy you meet when you come in is the mending guy. So let's take a look at the rest of this. So if this was oak, you know what? Let me go ahead and get a lectern just to see how that's going to look. Even if one of these guys comes over and tries to claim it, that's fine. I don't care. And let's just grab, because it might actually look cool with a book in it. And I think you need to actually make this writable, I believe. We don't have a squid ink. Gonna have to find a squid ink. So look, there's squids right here. This ain't gonna be a problem. All right, who's the lucky one? Who's the lucky one? You are. Did you give me an ink? No. Oh, there it is. Good enough. Okay. Let's get back to what we were doing. Let's see. I feel like I'm kind of rushing right now, and I kind of am, because I don't want this episode to go too much longer, because I want to still keep them around the 3-hour mark, and I know we're pushing that So I want to just kind of get the idea for the first one of these desks kind of more solidified, and then we can come in and really just start cranking them out next episode. Let's go ahead and make our written book so we can put it in the lectern. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what these will really look like. So they'll have a lectern here, and a lectern here. Right, so that kind of sticks up a little bit. And it might be that we put an oak sign so it matches. I can't even place that. There we go. That'll probably be an oak sign to match this oak. Right? That makes more sense. Oh, I have my better signs mod on here. They keep their writing. I was wondering why they weren't stacking. Oh, it actually tells you what is on it. That's pretty cool. I think that's new. Yeah, so I have better signs. So like the thing that lets me click through the item frames and the signs in the chest also makes them keep their text when you break them. There we go. Now that edit I think was part of the mod because I had to shift to do it. In fact, I like that better because the edit on the current signs when you click it by accident, I don't like that. So I think I might keep the mod edit, which means I have to shift. Anyway, that's one of my quality of life mods. So yeah, okay. So now what I'm thinking is though, but I don't want the whole desk to be oak. And I'll probably have stuff like, you know, a lamp on one of these and a sea pickle or a plant pot or something. I'll probably have some of those things. So, but I'm thinking like this rest of this desk can maybe be spruce, and then maybe be these like spruce trap doors. I don't feel like that's out of place, even though the wood tone changes like that. I think it looks better than if the whole thing was oak. I think. I could be completely wrong. Right, so then also what you would do here then is you would make this a honey block. Bloop. And then you would put the carpet on it. So then when a villager goes in here, he can't jump out. See? What a sound. What a sound. Oh my gosh. Right? So he can't jump out of there. So he just stays there. And then, so like this floor, whatever the flooring is, but then you could have like carpet in the hallways, like in the hallway. But then, like, for example, this one would have to be an actual wool block because you can't put carpet here because this trapdoor occupies that space. So you couldn't put a carpet there, but you could have wool blocks in the flooring right there. So that's kind of my idea of what these little desks will look. I think that looks pretty good, actually. I think these trapdoors probably look the best for the backside, and I'm thinking having these sides as spruce works good with that. And we could even have something like he really went out of his way for that. He really went out of his way for that. Look at him. Oh, that is just too funny. Too funny. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so imagine this is oak. And then again, we could put like a planted pot, and then like some of these on the ends can have like a plant, a pot with a plant, and then some of these can have lanterns here and there. Of course, it helps with lighting as well. Maybe all of them could have a lantern. Who knows? You could do something on top of this to maybe soften that transition. Like you could have some of these have like some other color carpet thing there, or a pressure plate or something, just to kind of make that a little bit different. But that's the idea. And then there's going to have a row of 18 of these things. I like it. Eventually I'm going to have to break that, and that guy's going to have to realize that it's gone. Look at, we got honey bottles. Oh, look at this. We're getting even more of them. Great. Look, we're up to 2 more honey blocks now. Let's see. So we go to the 9, the 9, and the 10s. The 9, the 9, the 9, and a 10. There we go. Put those back in there. Oh, no. Wrong ones. Those back in there. There we go. Yeah, so we could probably technically move Mr. Mending over here right now if we wanted to, but I think that's going to be a little bit more involved, so that maybe can wait till next episode. Yeah, there we go. And I think that red carpet works because you kind of have that on the base of the lectern already. Yeah, that's going to look nice. I think that's going to look really cool. I like it. I'm happy with that. Yeah. That's our plan. That's what we're going to do. Let me get back up here. I need the builder to be able to get... Okay. Let me remove these. That villager should come over here at some point. And, okay, to clear these, you have to put them in your crafting window. That's how this little mod works. There we go. I need that villager to come back over here to realize that that table was gone. For him to stop being a librarian. Is this too dark over here? Yeah, thought it looked pretty dark over here. Don't want anything spawning. Oh my gosh, look at this. When did I do this? Why is there a golem way over here? That golem shouldn't be spawning. He had to have wandered over from the village because there shouldn't be any spawn squares over here as far as the iron farm is concerned. Yeah, those are bottom slabs. He wouldn't have spawned up there. We have all of our buttons. We don't have any more. Yeah, you must have come from somewhere else. Well, you need to get away from our iron farm. Hey, why didn't that one hit you? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, but we're pretty much about the 3-hour mark. I think I might need to call it here. I think anything that I start doing now, like, you can't jump, but you can at least still walk out of it. Okay, there we go. All right, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll call it here. So thanks everyone. So I'm sorry that I opened the episode saying we're going to build a library, and then I really, well, just got distracted. But it's all stuff we needed to do, right? Bees, we needed the bees for the honey because I'm going to need 18 of those honey blocks. So I definitely needed to get that started. You know, we have, of course, the glass bottles and stuff to support the bee farm. That's all. We had to do all of that. And, of course, my little side check for the dripstone didn't go so well, but that's okay. But we'll find some of that eventually, and we'll make a lava farm whenever we get to that point. But, yeah, thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that... Let's see if that... There we go. He noticed it was gone. Sorry, buddy. It wasn't supposed to be yours anyway. Look, he's trying to push me around now. All right, well, thanks. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next time. And I think next episode, let's plan on really like cranking through this library. Let's just really focus on the library next episode, and we'll get that built out a little bit more. We'll start transferring some of the ones who already have book trades over here and give them a place in their library. And yeah, we'll do that next episode. So I will see you then, and thanks so much. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, one other thing. Tell me what I can do with the underside of that roof right there. I'm not sure what to do with that. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.